Hey, we're going to be looking at another one of our hype stocks. This one is ticker symbol GTBIF, and that is for Green Thumb. This is a marijuana play. Uh, Again, if you're unfamiliar with that market, it's becoming more publicly accessible, more publicly just acceptable. And so I think there will become a day at some point where it's just nationally legal. And if that is the case over the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be, I think that means one of these companies that sells that type of product will grow tremendously in revenue, income, everything. And so we want to try to catch this one before it becomes just wildly accepted. I'm not sure how many states have legalized it so far, but it seems like every year, at least one state, if not two or three, allow it to become legal, whether it be for medicinal purposes or just for general public purposes. And so I think just over time, we'll see that uh, total addressable market become greater, especially as more states just allow it. And so I do have two stocks in that field, and I tried to pick the two biggest ones. A caveat with these, if you're unfamiliar, is these are over-the-counter type stocks, and GTBIF, that you would have to buy that over the counter. So there's like a charge fee on a stock like this. So just keep that in mind depending on what vendor you use. I think you can buy it on any platform. Like I personally use E-Trade, and I also have a webull account. I'm pretty sure I can get it on both platforms, so big and small. I am going to include my webull referral link in the description just in case you don't have an account and would like to have one, because I know for sure you can buy this stock on that account. But if you don't have, um, if you have another trading like brokerage account that doesn't allow it, you can use this webull account. And if you're new to it, you can have, they give you like free stock like right off the bat. I think just opening an account, you'll get two free shares. And if you, after you make your first deposit, you get like 10 fractional shares on top of the two free shares, something like that. Um, but again, so that'll be in the description below if you want to open an account. And again, I'm just saying that in case whatever trading platform you currently use, if it doesn't allow you to get this one and you want to buy it, I Webull should allow you to get it. So with that being said, let's actually look into this. It looks like the last time we looked at it, and I'm going to zoom in here, we were looking at about the past 2.5 years. And you can see like the max on this one was about 38. We've been in this big downtrend for a while. We saw a big rally, and then it just plummeted back in the end of 2022. And now it seems to have found a home right in this range between, we'll just call it $7 and $10. And more recently, what we're going to do is draw in a little bar here, because it seems like this is acting as resistance. So what we'll do is we'll make this a red line. It won't be as thick. Um, we'll make it half as thick just so it's, not as prominent to us. But still, we just want to be aware of that we might have a little trouble getting over the $9 mark, which again, so this is a very small company in terms of, per share value. So we had $8 marked out. We thought when we looked at this one, it was right in this red bar, which, so about 3.5 weeks ago. And again, we marked it at $8 at the time. And this green line down here, that's also $8. And of course, there's like penny differences. Maybe like if you want the exact number, the green bar's at $8.19. and we probably saw it, who knows, maybe at 850 or something. But we're just trying to keep it simple as whole dollar amounts. No rounding. We just whatever the dollar is, that's how I'm calling it right now. And yeah, so I thought we were going to see some support at $8. Clearly, it went below, and now we're going to see if we'll find some support here at roughly $7.46. So I'm just going to call it 7. And so I'm very interested in this one. Again, thinking about the future, this is one that I'd probably buy and hold for a number of years. And again, the potential for something like this, knowing that it was at about $40, I mean, this one could go up about 6 times in a short period. I mean, the last time it was down in this range, which was about May of 2020, and then it saw that peak in about less than a year. Less than a year, it went 6 times in value. So we could see a run like that, and I want to catch that. So I'm definitely going to be adding to my position. I know I bought this one before. Again, not much. I don't want this to be, my top position or anything, but I do want to build it out when I can. So I will probably be adding to this one. So I'm going to mark this green, and I'll just kind of update my tracker here. So currently it's in the $7 range, buying at 8. Again, I have it marked on my spreadsheet as sell/short at 15, but we'll see when the time actually comes. I'll update the date, and then right now I'll just say currently trading between what? We'll say 7 and 9. 7 to 9. And that's pretty much all I have on this one. One thing I do want to share is that if we look at yahoo.com, their finance page, this is for Green Thumb, and so there's the ticker symbol for us. Its market cap is about $1.8 billion. So, obviously I'd be surprised if this was in the top 500. Again, it's not going to be eligible for that because, again, it's not technically legal. Even though it's legal in multiple states, it's not federally legal. So until it becomes federally legal, this just will never be in the top 500, even if it was eligible today. But again, it's at a market cap of 1.8. I don't think it would get into the top 500. I would imagine it would be able to get into the Russell 2000, which is, I think the way the Russell 2000 works is if you look at the top 3,000 stocks in the stock market, the Russell 2000 is the bottom 2,000 of the top 3,000. This stock might crack that list. Not sure where at. I'll actually look into that. I'm kind of curious. Not going to do that now just for the sake of time, but I'll look into that. But the reason why I wanted to point this out is because the market cap is at 1.8 billion. And then if we look at their financials in 2020, that's very interesting. They don't have 22 yet. So hopefully they have some. Interesting. I'm curious about that, but either way, just looking at 2021, I want you to notice that for their income statement, these numbers are in thousands. So this 893,000 figure you're seeing, that's really 893 million. So with their market cap of 1.8 billion, in terms of revenue, that's just 2 years. So in 2 years' time, they can make up their market cap. And again, I don't know what is a good parameter in terms of like for instance, let's go back to the summary. It's currently trading at 153 PE ratio, but I know there's another ratio that would be what is the market cap to sales comparison. And so I know I want to say for Intel, for example, I'm not going to pull it up right now, but just as an example, some companies, such as Intel, they'll be trading on average about like 5 or 6 times revenue in comparison to their market cap. And so that's kind of a marker for, say, semiconductor type stocks. Obviously, this one's not a semiconductor, so maybe that is normal. I'll actually look into this one when I pull up the other marijuana type stock, which is Curaleaf. I'll look into that one to see if it's also trading at the same. So I'm actually going to put that note in here for us that market cap is two times rev, and we'll just kind of, I'm going to keep track of that. The other thing, I'm not too sure. So TTM, that's trailing 12 months. If that's the case, if it's currently trading at 1 million, because this is in thousands, that's $1 billion. Oh, geez, that scared me. But so that's trading at $1 billion in the past 12 months. So we have to imagine that once their year-end financials come out, it's going to be somewhere in or around the $1 billion mark, which, I mean, that's just great. At least for me, in terms of like the market cap versus revenue, I think that's very good. That means you're very likely to get your money back very quick if this company wanted to liquidate. And we'll look at the balance sheet just for a second. But the other thing I want to point out is whenever I was saying how this market has a high probability of growing, this is kind of what I'm referring to. If we go back to 2019, their revenue was 216 million. The next year, it doubled. It more than doubled, up to 556 million. And then not last year, but 2021, okay, it slowed down a little bit, which, I mean, that's kind of expected, but still, the growth rate on this, it went from 556 almost to 900. I mean, that's still a growth rate of probably close to like 80%, maybe 70, between 70 and 90% growth. And then, okay, it did rapidly slow down here, going from about 900 to 1 billion. Clearly, that's a slowdown to about maybe 12% growth. So it clearly pulled back some, but the point is it's still growing pretty rapidly, and so I'm a fan of that. And again, the thinking is as more states allow this product to be sold there, that means more potential for revenue, more potential for net income. And so I'm on board with that. And so I just want to look at the balance sheet just for a second. They have tons. They have tons of money here. Total assets, $2 billion. Their market cap is less than their assets. I mean, this one just seems like a steal. I don't get it. Current assets. Okay, I guess they don't have that much cash in comparison to the market cap, but still, $230 million. They have a lot of cash on hand. So a lot of it's in non-current assets. It looks like a lot's in goodwill. That's odd. I would have thought it'd be in like property. And there's a sizable chunk in property, but in goodwill, that means they must have bought some stuff and like overpaid, like paid a multiple on it. Did not expect that, but I'm not too concerned about it, but interesting, very interesting. I didn't expect that. If we pull back on this, liabilities, I mean, they have tons of funds to pay this off. Let me see the receivables. Not much receivables, so that's interesting. Yeah, I guess current liabilities, they can cover they have a good current ratio, so that's okay. And so current ratio, that just means their current assets is way over their current liabilities, so very good on that front. Not too concerned about that, so pretty healthy balance sheet in my opinion. But I think that pretty much covers this one for now. If I pull up, I forgot it's over here. Yeah, so overall, I think this one's a good deal. Currently, we are seeing it kind of trend down, so maybe it makes sense to kind of draw that in just to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to trade like this for much longer. I really think it's going to kind of tap out at around 750. Of course, we'll see. But I think that's how this is going to draw, especially considering, I mean, it's slowing down. I mean, look how tight that window is. Yeah, so I just don't see this one, and I'll make this thicker for us. Oh, I can't do two at the same time. Let's make that thicker just so we can see it a little better. And so there we go. Very small margin of error here. So I do like this one, and yeah. So I'll just very low sales transaction volume too. Something to keep in mind. Yeah, this one I like this one flat out. So this is what we drew in here. So currently it's in the $7 range. I'm saying I'm gonna buy it when it's less than 8, so it hits that mark. Probably run into some trouble around 15 to get over that hump, but still that's potential to double up in a short period of time. Added the date, and so currently it's trading between 7 and 9, so we left that note in there. And market cap is only 2 times its revenue. So I think that bodes well for this company long term, and especially for the near term. Very good fundamentals, it looks like. Anything else? I guess I can wrap this, I suppose, and say minor downtrend, just so we're as transparent as possible. And so, yeah, that pretty much wraps this one up. I'll be looking at Curaleaf very soon. That'll probably be the next video I put out, just because I want to do these ones back to back, especially after going through Green Thumb the way I did. But yeah, if you have any insights on this one, feel free to let me know. I'd be very interested, because I do like this one for the long term. Outside of that, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.